Good morning and welcome to Morning Moments. I am so glad that you took the time to be with us today. I have a very special guest from the other side of our state in Virginia, Hannah Sailsbury. I saw her the other day on television and saw the wonderful ministry she's doing. And I thought, I wonder if she'd be on Morning Moments. And I looked her up and asked her, and sure enough, she agreed to. So Hannah, welcome to Morning Moments.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me be on here this morning.
You are a teacher, elementary teacher, right?
Yes, I was. Yes.
Okay. When I heard your interview, I was just so amazed about how God has used you. Tell me, what do you do and why do you do it?
So I am the founder of the nonprofit organization Bibles in Schools. And like you said, I was a teacher. So I did that before I started this nonprofit. And I do this because God showed me that we need more engaging Bibles in our school libraries. And so I couldn't just let that need just sit there. I had to do something about it. So that's why I'm working full time now for Bibles in Schools and getting these engaging Bibles in our school libraries.
Wow. What about the person who says, oh, you can't put Bibles in schools? Not this day and age. But
Right. A lot of people say that. And even myself, when I first saw my student, he was a second grade student, and he checked out the King James Version Bible from our library, I was thinking, oh, we have Bibles in our libraries? I was like, that's great. So yes, you can have Bibles in your libraries. You can have other religious texts in the libraries as well for students.
Yeah. Sometimes people think that you have to take God out of schools and you can't share God in schools, but there's a lot of things you can do and stay within the regulations, right?
Right. And a lot of just as I continue to learn, as I was teaching, students have a lot more rights, religious rights than we think they do. And also, teachers have some rights too, but not as much as students be able to openly share about their faith.
You also took some warfare with your school as well, not physically, but spiritually. And tell us about your prayer walk.
Yeah, sometimes in life when you just feel like, okay, God, what are you doing with my life right now? Like, I need some help just to be content where I am. And that's kind of where I was in 2018. I just gone through some things personally in my life. And I was like, God, I need your help to be a light for you where I am. So I started to prayer walk around our school, and I would get to school early. It was in February, so it would be cold. And as I would pass every window of our school building, I would pray for my coworkers by name. And, when you start praying for people, you start caring about that person. And so I just could really see how God was helping me and making my day better by prayer walking.
And you were telling me some exciting things when people would ask you what you're doing, and it would open doors too, right?
Right. Yeah. Because, when you see somebody walking by themselves in the cold in the early morning, and you're a teacher and you have like 1,000 things to do, you're like, why are they out there just walking? That's weird. So when they would ask me what I was doing, I would say, I'm prayer walking. And then I would say, hey, is there anything I can pray for you about? And it was just awesome because I got to talk with my coworkers and pray specifically for what they were asking.
I was just sharing with you a practice that my wife and I have, and not every time we do it when we go out to eat, but we do it often, is when we're ordering our food and they say, is there anything else we could help you? And I'll say, well, I usually say, yeah, one more thing. we're getting ready to pray for our food. Is there anything we could pray for you about? When you ask somebody
Yeah.
to pray from, what doors open, it's just amazing, isn't it?
Right. It is exciting because it's like you don't know what they're gonna say, and just some people don't have people. Well, a lot of times we don't have people asking, "What can I pray for you about?"
Yeah.
So it really means a lot to people.
Now, your your outreach is more than just, and has been more than just in your community. You were telling me that you went to Zimbabwe and you've done some missionary work as well, right?
Right. Yes. Before I started Bibles in schools, I really kind of wanted to go back to Africa and live there full time. And yeah, so my heart has always been, the world. Just as I've traveled and seen different parts of the world, I just love learning and meeting people from all over. So with this nonprofit organization, our main focus is the United States of America, because that's where it all started in my elementary school. But we do also donate to other countries. And this one lady from Kenya, she heard about us through the 700 Club when they did an interview. And I'm telling you, we have become like such great friends. And we donated Bibles to her after school program, but she sends a prayer every month and prays for Bibles in schools and for the US and then for other countries as well that will get more Bibles in the hands of students.
Quite often people think about going to foreign fields, and they think, oh, I don't know if I could do that. But we could go by supporting Bibles in schools, is the example for your ministry. But we could also go not to all the world, but first of all to our world. And I like what you've done, saying, well, there's people in United States and even in my community that need to have Bibles in libraries.
Yes, it's crazy, but as we've just done the research, a lot of our libraries don't have many Christian books. And one librarian in Washington, he said the first week of school, he had multiple students ask for the Bible, and he didn't have a Bible in his library. And so he heard about us through the grapevine and asked for us to donate. And that's what we want to do. We want to have a Bible on every shelf so that if students ask for the Bible because they want to read it, that it's there for them to read. So, and we want to get it on their level too.
Yeah. And I think that I think it's a good thing to do is those of you that are involved in schools, look around your library, see if there's Bibles. If there's not Bibles, get some in there. And if you can't get some in there, contact Hannah and her group. They'll see if they can get some Bibles in your school.
Yes. You just go to biblesinschools.org and we'll help you out. And we keep track of all the Bibles, where they're going. So let us know if you want to get it in your schools.
I let me just reinforce what I was saying, is that there's a need for us to go. I often say that 2/3 of God's name is go. People don't realize that, but 2/3 of God's name. Did you like that one? You could use it.
Anybody say that?
Yeah, I stole it from somebody else years ago.
Well, I'm going to steal it from you now.
That's okay. That's all right. But as we're commanded to go, and there's an old song that says, God commands us to go. If we stay, it should be the exception. So if you're not going into the world to preach the gospel or to share the good news, go to your world. Go to your world of your cul-de-sac. Go to your world of your small town or village that you're in. Go to your world of your neighborhood. And what are you doing in your world? We need to go.
Yes. Yeah. And I truly believe that also, if I had not been prayer walking, I would not have realized the need. But if I just saw the need and didn't go and do what God was like, hey, you got to keep going, you got to keep donating. I mean, we've donated to over 1,500 libraries in the US. If I didn't go and I just kept praying about it, we wouldn't have these Bibles in our library. So I like that. Go. 2/3 of God's name is go.
Prayer isn't about God getting a hold of God. Prayer is more about God getting a hold of us. And so when we pray, he says, now that I have your attention,
Right.
God knows your heart. It's up to us to hear his voice. And so when we listen to his voice, he'll tell you what you want to do. Hannah, what I'm going to do down below in the comment section, I'm going to put contacts for your ministry, your Bibles for schools, so people can donate or get involved in your ministry, and so they could see what you're doing. And I'm also more important than just putting that information down there, I want you to be praying for Hannah. God has made a big step for her from teaching to now in this ministry. And there's great and wonderful things for her, but she needs your prayers, folks. So take the time right now after you hear this interview and you pray for her and her family and her ministry, okay?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. And I would say also, don't let fear or doubt hold you back from going, because I had no idea how to create a nonprofit organization, how to create a website, but God, he provides and he brings forth the help. So just go. That's the word today, I think. Go. Just go and do what God is asking you to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some of you are going, I can't do it. Well, look, when God speaks to your heart about doing something, step in faith, believing, and you might be surprised what the next thing is for you, like Hannah's surprised what God has done for her. God's got a purpose and a plan and a hope for you as well. Thank you so much for joining me for Morning Moments, Hannah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining me for Morning Moments. And if you would, just keep on coming back.